Hey, hey. Hello, welcome. Welcome. How is everyone doing? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Okay. It's been a little while, huh? Okay. So, yeah, I wasn't able to stream on Wednesday and yesterday, Friday, which I normally stream on those days, but I was traveling and doing some other things that I didn't have the time to stream. So yeah, it's been like, I don't know how many days. I think I did my last stream on Monday. So yeah, it's been a little while. So, yeah. So basically, yeah, that's what happened. And yeah, so I am streaming today and I will maybe stream tomorrow, but I'm not sure. I don't usually stream on Sundays, but maybe in this instance I could stream tomorrow, but I'll see. I like having my Mondays off, my Sundays off, so I can rest and yeah, and do other things. So yeah, anyways, so I need to catch up a little bit with what I've been doing, so we're going to take a look at Figma. Okay, so this is what we have as the tasks, and yeah, or maybe we can just jump into Unity and just see what we have here. So what I remember doing last time was basically refactoring everything. So now we have this Starfield sequence handler, which, oh, let me change this. This script is basically responsible for just the sequence. Okay, that's great because like I have this travel sequence here, for example, and this has all of the information and all of the stuff that we need for the traveling animation. For the animation when we travel into the constellation, we have the travel speed, we have the how long each step in the animation is. So we have the travel animation, then we have the show star connections, and then we focus landing star. So that's basically the steps of this animation. And yeah, so that's there's that. which is really cool because now we have the Starfield system, which only has like a couple responsibilities, and we have the constellation system, which has again a couple things. So now this script is much smaller. Also this one is much smaller. And yeah, okay, so then what else? I do have a couple a couple things commented, because this is for the save system, which I completely disabled for now, because basically what's happening is I'm trying to test this without like incorporating the save system, because that's a whole other thing to refactor, and yeah. So right now we're just simply doing the things without saving anything. I think I will have to start saving some stuff, and like my save system, I think it's great. I don't think I need to. I don't know. I think I don't need to start refactoring the save system. I don't think so, but we'll see. So yeah. But basically, what I'm trying to say is, the save system is ready to be used the way it is. It basically saves, I have the universe, and it basically saves the current universe, which is the Starfield stats and things. Then the constellation information, the stars information, and all of that. Okay. So it's basically like a tree. Okay, so the universe contains the Starfield data, okay, the information. Then it contains also the constellation data. The constellation data is basically the current constellation, but also the Starfield will hold all of the constellations that we have been discovering. That's another thing. And yeah, so I think that's basically going to be working. So anyways, now let's go back here. Let's go here and just test this really quick, which I think I can do from maybe here, just hitting this. Okay, perfect. Okay, great. So this is really cool how it looks. Now it shows the constellation. This one is really interesting. And now basically the star, the landing star is being focused, and now we would travel there basically. So that's the idea. Okay. So there's a couple things I want to do, and now we're going to go into Figma and we're going to see what tasks we have. Okay, so first task is finish fixing traveling animation, and then after focusing the landing star, fade into planetary system scene. Okay, so that's basically what we need to do, what I want to do right now. So so what do I mean by finish fixing traveling animation? So as you might have seen, when it finishes loading, when it finishes the traveling, the constellation like takes a long time to show up. So there's a couple ways I can fix that. One of them is basically going here, okay, opening the shader, okay. So I open the shader, And this is on world space. Okay. Now, like, I think that maybe this won't work if I set it to object. World and object. Okay, so I think this should be world. Okay, and I should be setting. Okay, let's try just setting it to object right now and just seeing what happens when I change the. Let's hit play. Okay. And let's see what happens when I change the value of this vertical alpha. Okay, yeah, nothing is showing up because there's basically no constellation. Okay, so I have to do this. Okay, so we wait until this animation finishes. Okay, perfect. And now we can see this starts going, okay, going up. Okay, perfect. So now, yeah, this is on object space and it's still like doing this weird thing. Okay, so let me just show you something. You can see here when I'm moving this slider, the constellation starts showing just when it reaches 0.47. Okay, so I think I should do this in a way that it lerps from here to 0.9. Okay, because that's the threshold where it shows the constellation. That's like the position of the pixels. So I think that's what we need to do for this to do the animation faster, because there's like, I don't know, the complete animation I set it to 7 seconds. Okay, but this is taking like 3.5 seconds to get here, and then it starts showing and then it finishes here like at 0.8. And I think I could go into 0.9 maybe, or maybe just try 0.8. And then there's this extra 10% or maybe like 20% of that time that there's nothing happening. So I think we can easily fix this by, first I'm going to set this again to world space. Okay, world space, just in case. And then the next thing would be to go here into the starfield sequence. Okay, this sequence, travel to constellation sequence, and then here show constellations. Okay, show connections. So you can see here that this is basically the vertical alpha, basically. Okay, and what I need to do is just change this to go, instead of going from 0 to 1, it should go so start alpha, so this should go to 0.8 and it should start at 0.4. We're going to set a comment here saying shader is on world space, therefore Okay. Okay, perfect, perfect. So we set that little comment there, and now instead of setting this to be 7 seconds, which is like a lot, we can say like 1, and it's going to be much faster. We're going to see right here, if I go here to the sequence, you can see that show start connections is 7 seconds. This could be like, let's make it 2, and that's it. I think that's going to be much better. So we can check this out now. Okay. Oh, let me test my audio really quick. Test my audio really quick. Test my audio really quick. Test. Okay, I think I'm clipping the microphone. So let me just see. Okay, I will just turn it a bit down. Okay, because I think I was clipping the microphone really bad. Okay, now let's test this again. Okay, and let's see what happens now. This is just really fine-tuning some details, but just so we have a nice thing. Okay, yeah, that's a lot. 2, it's too slow, I think, so we can say 1, and that's going to be more than enough. And also another thing that I'm not really liking is this. So I'm just going to move this a bit to the left, okay? Like that. So, and also there's something a bit weird that happened. Duration. Okay, so 7. This is going to be 1, okay? Because you know what, I think maybe I'm not... Oh yeah, this is... Why is it 7 still? What the hell? Yeah, this should be current step duration, and this also should be current step duration. That was the weird thing. So maybe 2 is... Maybe 2 is okay. I'm not sure. We're gonna try again and we'll see what happens. Okay, so let's hit play again. Let's see what happens now. Okay, go here and just test travel. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that's really cool. Okay, yeah, one is really fast, and I'm not sure why that's the case. Let's see what's happening in the... Okay, so why is it so fast? Let's set it to 3 maybe. 3 maybe is fine. I think I don't need to be stopping the play mode for this, but whatever. Yeah, that's not bad. Let's set it to 2 and just try again. Let's see what happens now. Maybe 2 is a bit faster. Hmm. 2.5 maybe. There's one thing I don't really like, and that is that like it stops, and yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's completely fine. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's cool. Okay, that's really cool. I really like how this looks. It's really cool. Okay, perfect. So, yeah, 2.5 is the good number, I think, here. So that's great, and I think that's perfect. So we can just complete that task. Okay, and now we can simply start with this task. Okay, so after focusing the landing star, fade into the planetary system scene. Okay, so what I want to do with this is this. Let me show you really quick how this works. So, okay, you see the animation. Okay, you're traveling to the constellation, blah blah blah. Okay. Perfect. Now you see the constellation. This one is really cool. Okay, perfect. So now the idea is that we grab this, okay, the bloom, and we decrease the threshold, okay, and increase the intensity. And you see what happens there? It starts looking like really interesting. And that's going to basically be the fade, okay? That's basically the fade. So there's a couple things I would like to do with this, because like I said, this is supposed to be some kind of screen. So this is some kind of analogic, maybe that's the word. This is some kind of analogic screen where you can, this is like a terminal where you can input a coordinate to a constellation, and then you can travel there. So so like the idea, that's like the idea I have, but there's a lot of things until we get to the point where we define what this is. Basically, there's like we have to do a lot of things before that, but I already have some kind of idea for what I want to do with this. So basically, that's why you see like the scan lines. Maybe I don't know if you can notice in the small screen, but maybe if I do this, maybe there you can see a bit better. You can see like the scan lines going through there. I don't know if that's noticeable, but anyways, basically my idea is that this is some kind of screen, like a terminal that you input the coordinates of a constellation, and then the astronaut types some stuff on a keyboard, and then some kind of computer or something like that. So this is what you're seeing here is basically like an animation and like a simulation. And then when it gets here, I am imagining some animations for this, and like I'm not sure how I want to do that yet. So yeah, let me just Voyager constellation, or maybe let me open up the board so I can draw a little thing. Okay, star field. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, so we just traveled there. Okay, so we just traveled here. Okay, and this is like more centered like this. So yeah, that's fine. Anyways, what I'm basically trying to do here is when you get here, then you see the lines, okay, they animate, and then you see the connections. Then I want for some kind of like thing to appear like this with some animation to highlight the star that you're going to go to, okay, to travel to. Because when you go into a constellation, you go into one of those stars, okay? So that's the thing, you travel into one of the stars in the constellation. So yeah, basically I'm trying to think about what animation I can do to let you know which one of the stars you're going to go into. Because there's one thing that could be a bit confusing for the player. Let me, I think it's pretty dark, so let me just turn on the lights. Okay, so basically what could be something that's a bit confusing about this is that when you get into the constellation, like, why is a random star like focused and then you go there? Okay, so what I'm trying to like think about is how do I like inform the player that one of these stars is the landing star, and yeah, I'm trying to think about something simple like that's not so confusing, because maybe when the player gets into a new constellation, so let's see the animation again. I need to be able to define this, and I think the moment maybe is right now because we're already working on this. So you see this, and then one of the stars is focused, okay? So this one is in the center of the screen. But maybe like the player like doesn't understand why is this one, why am I going here if I maybe want to go there, okay, to that one. And I'm thinking that maybe that could be confusing and all of that. So I'm trying to think about how can we define something that's simple and easy to understand, that when a player goes into a new constellation, they know that there's a star that they're going to go into. So there's a couple things I'm thinking of. One of them is basically just not doing this, like not focusing one of the stars, and then and just like for example, when you travel, okay, one of the things we could do is just this. So you get, you see this, you see this is the constellation I'm going to travel to, okay? And you see the constellation and that's it. And then after this, you get the animation, okay, the fade. And the screen fades and then you go into the constellation and you don't really know where you are, okay? So that's one of the options. But that's basically a bit confusing because, like, not confusing, but maybe it's not too cool to do that. I don't think that's great because you don't know if you landed here or here or here or and the problem with that is I don't really like how like that idea at all, okay? So that's one of the things. And then like and then for example, I was thinking about something that that could be, for example, let me just take a picture of this and go here. Okay, let's make it a bit smaller so it doesn't take too much. Okay, so my other idea is that basically one of the stars, like the landing star, which is something that I already implemented, which in this case is going to be, let's see, this one. Okay, this one is the landing star. You can see that the camera focus on this star and the other ones get a bit like faded. So this one is the landing star. And what I'm thinking that we could do is basically, hey Puleto, is that how how you say your name? Hello, welcome to the stream. So what I'm thinking is, if this is the landing star, what does that mean? That means that this star is the only one of all of this that contains like the portal or the terminal that lets you go into another constellation. Okay, so so basically you're going to basically be land here, okay, and this star will have something special, okay, so maybe some kind of, I don't know, maybe like a spiral like this. What was that? Something disconnected? Okay, I don't know. This game looks really cool. I love space stuff. Hey, thank you very much. I can show you a bit more if you want. I have a couple other things. This is just one of the scenes of the game. So this is basically when you travel into a new constellation, but I can show you how it looks when you're on a planet. Let me show you really quick. So this is a little preview. I'm still building all of this, so it's pretty early in development, but yeah, you can see like the background is cut there, but that's because the planets are procedural and I didn't finish implementing them. But this is basically how you play. You have the planets and you can explore all of the planets you go to. And yeah, you have your day-night cycle like this. Where's this? Planet systems, maybe here. So you have your day-night cycle. You can see now it's daytime and you can explore all of this, and there's a couple things active. I think the scan lines are active. Yeah, I have to disable them, but yeah, basically this is how the game is going to look when you play here, and you're going to be able to fight enemies and that kind of thing. And yeah, you can see the planet in the background, that's procedural. The clouds also are made with shaders, and yeah. So yeah, right now I'm working on this part, which is basically one of the key parts of the game, which is, yeah, in the game you basically can travel between constellations, and the constellation contain stars, and each star is a planetary system, like our solar system, for example. And each star contains like 2, 3, 4 planets, and you can go there and explore, and pretty similar to No Man's Sky. I don't know if you are familiar with that game, but yeah. Okay, so basically what I was explaining here is that the star that you land on is going to be the star that contains the portal or the terminal for like traveling into other constellations. Okay, that's the idea. Do you know Space Engine? No, or I think I do. Is it is some kind of game or like simulation thing that you can see how the gravity works and the orbiting, and maybe place, for example, like place the sun in the place instead of the moon orbiting the Earth, and you can see what happens if the sun is too close to the Earth or something like that. It's basically a cool procedural universe that you can explore. Oh, I didn't know it was procedural. I think I saw like some stuff, and it was like maybe I'm talking about that different thing. I can search a little bit about that. Space Engine. That looks cool. Yeah, I think this is the one I was talking about. I think you're confusing it with Universe Sandbox. Yeah, maybe I am. Maybe I am. Let me just watch a video. Space Engine. Exploration number 1.
Hello everyone, today we're
Is it this one? So what I see is that this guy is exploring like the solar system. What is that? It looks really cool. Really, really cool. That's so cool. Is this new? This is from 2 years ago. Yeah, it's not new, but it includes all known stars and the rest is procedural, I think. That's really, really cool. So yeah, I think, yeah, maybe they built like the real solar system and some of the stars, like maybe the Milky Way, but then they created some procedural stuff so you can explore and get like some interesting generations. That's really, really cool. I like that. I maybe will be exploring that to take some inspiration from that. That could be a good research to do. So yeah. Okay, so I think with this that I just defined, the landing star being the only one that you can travel from and to. So you're in a constellation and your constellation only has like one star that's called the landing star or something like that. I will think about the name. But that star is going to contain at somewhere a portal or terminal that you can access and travel to other constellations, but only if you have the coordinates of the constellation, okay? So that's basically my idea, and I think that aligns really well with this. So I don't have to really do anything else. So I think I should like note that somewhere. I think maybe here. Starfield constellation. So I will be modifying this because this is like the basis of everything in the game. Like the basis, the core mechanics as described here. So yeah, and also I will be changing the font because I think the font could be changed into something else. Oh yeah, because I want to keep everything with this same aesthetic as the overlay and everything. But yeah. Anyways, let's work with this. So Starfield / constellations. So player travels from constellation to constellation. That's the longest travel distance, because you can travel from star to star inside the constellation, and the way you travel between stars is basically via these lines, okay, the connections. So those are not like just connections of the constellation, those represent the path, like the route that you can travel to go into another star. So if you are inside this constellation, let's say you are here, the only other stars you can go to is this one and this one, because you have like the direct connection there. And for example, this is a different case, because from this one you can go here, or you can go here, or you can go here. That's really cool. So so yeah, that's basically how you travel from star to star. But to go to a different constellation, you need that basically that terminal. How do I zoom out? Okay, like that. So that's the longest travel distance. You can only travel to another constellation if you have the exact coordinates. And I need to add and from let's call it like something like travel terminal for now. Okay. Via the travel terminal, if you have the exact coordinates, collect coordinate fragments from different observatories on planet. Okay. Synthesize the fragments to obtain the final coordinates to the constellation. Go into the landing star to find the travel. Are you planning on making different types of planets, like desert planets, etc.? Yeah, of course. I'm thinking that at first I wanted to create like really big planets that had multiple biomes. So you could go into a planet that could be like could have, for example, like a forest, and then you keep exploring and traversing the planet and you will find a desert, and then you will find a jungle or something like that. That was my first idea, but I think that maybe that doesn't make any sense if I want to make the player explore all of the planets, because you can stay in the same planet that has all of the biomes and then you already saw all of the content basically. So let me show you really quick something here. So what I'm thinking right now is that each planet could have like between 1 or 2 biomes, and they are not going to be thank you very much for the follow, thank you. So basically I'm thinking now that maybe each planet could have between 1 or 2 biomes depending on the size of the planet. So you can see here, this is the player, okay? I don't know if you can see that. This is the player, this is the size of the player. You can see this is just one chunk of the level, and you to go from the start and the end of the chunk, I think it takes around 30 seconds or maybe 1 minute. And this, I think this one is one of the largest planet. I think this is the largest planet type that there is. So let me show you how big it is. Like this is just one chunk, okay? But you can see like the planet is this big, okay? It's really, really big. So imagine like this is one chunk, and you spend like maybe 1 or 2 minutes travel, like walking from the start to the end of the chunk. Imagine how much it takes you to explore the entire planet, and you have mountains and then another places, like other places where it's more flat. So all of this generation is I think it's great for like maybe having 1 or 2 types of biomes. So to answer your question, yes, I'm planning to make different types of planets. So in this case, for example, let's take an example here. This one is some kind of like forest, like this could be some kind of like I don't know the name of this biome where you have like pine trees. I forgot the name, but this would be a really lush planet where you have a lot of vegetation and a lot of trees and all of that, but then you can have like another planet that is completely desert, but maybe it has some parts with desert, like all of full of sand, but maybe other parts where there's like stone like this and a little bit of vegetation, but like desert vegetation. So yeah, that's the idea basically. But yeah, it's gonna take a little while to get there. to get to that point where we start developing that. Luckily, I did some quite a great amount of progress on this, because I've been working on this project for a couple of years now. I don't work on this full time. I have a full-time job, so I work on this like right now. I only work on this when I stream, which is like 3 times a week on average, and I stream for a couple hours, maybe 2-3 hours. So that's all the time I can spend on this project. And before I was streaming, I started streaming like 2 months ago, I think. Before that, there were like a couple months where I worked like for days on this, and there were like, for example, another 3, 4, 5 months that I didn't do anything on the project. It was like paused. So yeah, right now I think now is the time that I can start working a bit more on it. So yeah. Anyways, I hope I answered your question. Okay, so right now what I need is a couple things. Okay, so I need VFX manager. So maybe this should be the thing that controls the scan lines, because I have, where's this? Oh yeah, I don't really, yeah, here, URP. Then we have the full screen material, and this is basically what creates the scan lines. Okay, if I crank this up, you can see it much more. Right now it's 0.02, so it's really transparent, so it's really subtle. And yeah, my idea is to have basically a reference to this, where I can basically just set it to 0, and then we don't have the scan lines anymore. So I think I'm going to go into VFX Manager, and here I'm going to hot VFX, world VFX, and full screen. Okay. I don't like having this. Well, this has to be. But serialized field material, full screen material. Okay. Did I write it? Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so full screen material. I basically need to just create a new function. I can just add a new region here, VFX dot full screen. Okay. Public void set set scan lines and let's call it like that for now. I think that's fine. And then I'm going to create a new tween. Okay. Oh yeah, maybe I don't need to. Yeah, let's just go into the material and see what name this has. I think it's just scanlines alpha, but I need to, yeah, scanlines underscore alpha. So does it have an underscore there? Yeah. So this is the name. Okay. Okay. So here I can say full screen material dot set float. Then this is the name of the variable, and I'm going to set the value to this one. Okay. So basically I think when this is initialized, when is this getting initialized? Here, okay, and set float. Okay, why am I doing this here if I have the init? I also will say here just game engine dot VFX manager dot set scanlines, and what I have to do here, yeah, this is going to be really hard coded. So yeah, I'm just going to set it here. Okay, this is really hard coded. It would be great to have it somewhere, like in a table or something like that, but it's not needed right now. So yeah, and then here in the game engine, so this is basically the script that manages like the global stuff. How did you learn to program? Well, it's a long time since I've been like programming. So I started in 2010 making Flash games. I don't know if you played Flash games, but basically I started learning by making Flash games like 15 years ago. You played them? Okay. So that's like a different language, and it's not being used anymore right now, like in any program or anything doesn't use that language, which is ActionScript. That's the language that Flash uses or used at that time. But basically that language is similar to other ones like this. This is C#, and it's pretty similar. But basically I started there, and I was making games, like watching tutorials. So that's how I first got into programming and making games, watching YouTube tutorials back then. And then in 2018 I started like learning Unity, and I made like a 2D fighting game with my friends. And then I started learning C#, and I basically learned everything by myself. I did like a short career. I don't know the name in English, but it's basically like not a career, which is often like 5-6 years. So for example, software engineering. I think that's like a really long career. But I didn't do that. I did something much shorter, which it's for about 2.5 years, and I didn't even finish it. and I didn't learn this language, but I basically learned a couple things there of programming. But I would say I learned by just making stuff. So that's my summarized answer. I basically just started like watching tutorials and like trying to make stuff move on screen and all of that. And that's how I learned to program. And I'm still learning. And there's a lot of things that I don't know. I do know like a lot of stuff. I work professionally on this. But yeah, that's basically how I learned how to program and how to make games. So yeah, that's my answer. Are you interested on learning or something like that? My hair is not great today. Anyways. Okay, so here, when a new scene is loaded, okay, in its systems, I think I need to have some kind of function here. Reset full screen shader effect. I've been using Unity for a couple of years, but I'm definitely not at your level. Yeah, I would say I've been using Unity since like, yeah, it's been like 7 years now, because I started in 2018. And yeah, I made that fighting game. And I started working for a company that made like mobile games in mobile, not MOBA, but mobile. In 2020. So it's been like 5 years since I started working professionally, and like I learned 3D by working on that company. So I didn't know how to make 3D games back then, but I started learning by working on that company, and that's how I've been like making progress on my knowledge basically. But yeah, I like making 2D games like for my company. Well, it's not my company, it's my studio, which is Neptosmic. And yeah, a lot of trial and error. Yeah, a lot of trial and error, that's for sure. Yeah, you need to practice and do stuff over and over until you get used to it, and until you understand how it works. Because like there's a lot of things that are pretty basic once you really understand how it works. So for example, I don't know if you know coroutines. I was never using coroutines before. Like, I'm talking about like before I started working professionally. I was not using coroutines, and this is really helpful because, for example, if you write some code here, okay, and you want to wait for a couple seconds or for like a certain amount of time, you can say this. Okay, I'm going to wait 1 second, and then I'm going to do this. Okay, so this is pretty basic. I've been using them. Yeah, so those are cool, but for example, in the game, in the fighting game, I developed when I started using Unity. I didn't use coroutines at all. Like I didn't know what they were. So I was doing everything in the update and then like setting variables to say, okay, if this variable gets into 3, okay, so I increase the variable over time, and if it gets to 3, then I do something. And for some stuff that's fine, but there are other things where you are much better by using coroutines. So yeah, that's one of the basic things that you only get to understand once you start using them. I can't think of another example right now, but you get the point. So yeah, okay, let me just have a reference here to scanlines. Scanlines. Not this. Is this what I want? Okay, perfect. So this is going to be basically reset full screen shader effects. This is going to be called every time we enter a new scene, because not every scene is going to use these scan lines. We could add them, like, for example, as an option, a graphical option. You know, there are like a lot of pixel art games that let you set scan lines and CRT effects and all of that to get that retro vibe. But yeah, I'm not going to do that for now, at least. So here I can say VFX Manager.reset shader effects, okay? And this init systems, yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. So that's great. My biggest problem is that I can never finish my projects. Yeah, that's a big one. I think the key for that issue, the key solution for that issue is basically doing small projects. Well, making small projects. In this case, this game, like this game I'm making, Voyager, this is not a small project at all. But this is because I have experience already and I know what it takes, like mostly what it takes to do everything I need to do for the project. All of the work that it takes, because I've worked on so many projects. I made hundreds of games at this point. But when you don't have that much experience, I think the best thing you can do is just think about one idea. So let's say you want to, well, you really like space, okay? So for example, let's say you want to create a game about space. So you can pick an idea. Let's say, okay, I want to make like a shooter, like shoot 'em up. I don't know if you ever played a shoot 'em up, but it's the games where you are a little starship and you scroll vertically or horizontally, okay, and you just kill enemies and get to the end of the level, and that's it. And you fight a boss, and that's it. I'm currently making one of those short horror games that are popular on... Okay, that got... Oh, okay. I think I have my Nightbot doesn't let people send links in the chat. That's why that got censored, I think. I have to configure that. I didn't play any of those short horror games on itch, but of course I know what you're talking about. So yeah, basically if you're struggling to, well, I think you have to identify what's making you stop, because when you start making the game, one of the things that can be really like overwhelming is the amount of things you have to do. So if, for example, you say, okay, I'm going to make a survival or like a short horror game, okay? A horror game in general. And then it's going to be level based, so you have level 1, 2, 3, 4, and sometimes you can be like a bit like, let's say for example you think, okay, I want to make the game with 20 levels, and you make the first level and you realize the amount of things you have to do, okay, all of the art assets, you have to create the level. If it's 3D, okay, you have to get the models or maybe do the models yourself, and then you have to program the character to move and all of that stuff, and then add the lighting, because of course horror games are dark and have lighting stuff. And maybe if you have combat or if for example you have enemies and you can shoot them and kill them, you have to program all of that too. So the combat systems, like the ability for the player to shoot, to have weapons, you have to program the enemies and make them interact with you and with the bullets and all of that. So you're basically, it's the amount of work you have to put in is exponential the more things you want to add to the game. So maybe sometimes, this is just an example, I'm not saying that's what happens to you, but this is really common, that you think about an idea and you think, okay, I'm going to make this and this and this and this, and you think about a lot of ideas, and when you start making the game, actually making the game and programming and all that, you realize that there's like a lot of things that you need to do, and maybe also you realize that there are like a lot of things that you don't know how to do. So maybe you start like, okay, I don't know how to make the player like hide inside a box or a closet, okay? And you start making that and you learn and you get there, but then you have to learn now how to make, for example, a flashlight that the character has to like light the way, and because everything is dark. So then you have to see how you implement that, and that's basically that can be demotivating sometimes. So I would say, for example, if you want to make a short horror game, just limit yourself and say, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to make 2 levels or maybe 1 level, okay? And in this 1 level you have to go, you're in the woods and you have to find a flashlight, or like a torch. You get the torch and then you go exploring, and maybe you find some enemies and you have to escape them, and you have to find a car in the middle of the road. You have to find the road first, and then you have to grab the car and escape, okay? And that's the game. It's a really short game. It's like a mini game, but only that is going to give you a lot of work, because you have to get all of the assets for the woods, for the forest, for example, for the character model, for the enemy, for the car, and then you have to build all of the systems for like the game when you start and then when you finish, and all of the colliders and the triggers, and yeah, there's a lot of things. So maybe something really simple like that lets you explore and really understand how it feels to get to finish one thing. Maybe that's going to help you. much more, and you're going to feel much better when you finish it. So that's the idea. Maybe you don't want to make something simple or small because you say, okay, maybe that's just a really simple game and it doesn't mean anything, but it does mean a lot, because you're going to learn a lot and you're going to feel really good when you finish it and you say, okay, this is my mini game I just did, and you can play it from start to finish, and then you will want to go and start making new games, new projects, or maybe even continue that one and expand it. So say, okay, I finished the first level and that's it. Okay, maybe now that I finished that, I want to make the second level. So maybe that's that's one advice I can give you. But yeah, generally what I recommend is to basically make small projects, and each project you make is going to be focused on you learning a new thing. Okay, you said that you have been using Unity for a couple of years, so I understand that you already have like some experience and you know how to do the basic stuff. But maybe there are like I've actually published one horror game before and it actually got pretty popular on itch. Okay, that's amazing. That's really cool. That's really cool. If you want to send the link, I can take a look. Maybe give me one moment. I can make the Nightbot not censor all of the links. Chat moderation. Yeah. I think that should work. It should work right now. I think itch is down right now. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, anyways, so there you go. You already have one project you finished and it did really well, so that's amazing. So then maybe you want to grab something similar to that project. This is just if you want to learn more stuff, of course, but maybe you're not interested in learning more stuff about game dev or all of that. But if you're interested in that, my advice would be to basically grab a new project if you want to make an horror game again, but maybe just do something different in a field that you're not familiar, and maybe learn to do something new that the previous game didn't have, but not something too complicated, just something simple. And that's maybe going to help. But yeah, I'm not really sure how much you know about making games. I'm just assuming a lot of things. That's why I'm giving you advice and everything, but maybe you don't need any of my advice. But yeah. Yeah, that's basically it. But of course, if you have any question about anything related to making games or anything, I can give you some advice. So I think that's going to be this. And oh yeah, so also I need to have a reference to this. This is the post-processing, and so I'm trying to think right now how to structure this, because I have this post-processing which is exclusive to the Starfield, and I think it's great to have different post-processing objects in each scene, because not all of the scenes are going to look the same. I tried to learn multiplayer at one point, which was horrible. Multiplayer games amaze me. Okay, yeah, so multiplayer is a whole other world, really. It's not easy at all. And in fact, I'm currently working on a multiplayer game in my main job. It's kind of like a Skyrim with some elements from like it's like a dungeon crawler with some extraction elements like Tarkov, so you can explore caves and all of that, and you get loot and you kill enemies and then you extract, and you have your inventory where you're the things you looted, and then you have your equipment and your weapons and all of that. So, and that's basically like a co-op multiplayer, and yeah, it's really not easy. Although I would say Unity 6 now has like much better integration for multiplayer stuff. So if you want to start making multiplayer stuff, I think it's much easier now in Unity 6 with the Unity netcode. So yeah, I would say if you don't have like a really good knowledge of code in general and systems and how multiplayer works, it's going to be really hard, because it can get really confusing. But yeah, there's plenty of tutorials. I think there's one guy that's called Code Monkey. Maybe you know it. You know that guy or the channel. He has a couple of tutorials on the multiplayer system in Unity that are really good, but those are not easy to understand. So yeah. I'm also assuming you're talking about online multiplayer, but yeah, I think that's what you're talking about, because then you have like the local multiplayer, which is not online, and you can play with like 2 players in the same computer or console or anything. Yeah, online. Yeah. So yeah, it's not easy, but of course I'm not trying to what's the word? You have to deal with so much more, yeah. Because the main thing is you need to understand that you now are working with, instead of just working with one instance, which is the local instance in your computer, which is, for example, this game, okay, this is just one thing that runs on my PC and that's it. But if you're talking about multiplayer, you now have to think about a server, which is going to contain a lot of the systems and things, and then you have the clients. The clients are, of course, all of the players that connect to the server and play together. So basically, it gets a bit confusing when you have to think about what needs to be executed in the server and what needs to be executed in the client, and which one of those owns what stuff. So for example, in the client, the player, which could be you or me or anyone that's connected to the server, to the game, that's one client, and each client has its own player that it owns. And then, for example, just to give you a really simple example, let's say you have an enemy and then you go and you deal damage to the enemy. You attack the enemy and deal damage. generally the enemies are managed by the server, okay? So the server, when the player in the client deals damage to the enemy, it has to send a message to the server saying, okay, I dealt damage to the enemy, and then the server has to inform all of the other clients that this enemy received damage. So all of the clients can see the same animation when the enemy receives the damage. So that sounds like maybe a bit simple if you think about it like that, but when you have to go and code that, that's when it gets really fun. So yeah, but it's not impossible, of course, and now it's much easier than before. So yeah, if you're really interested in that, I would say maybe just start looking and reading about that, because it's cool. It's really great. But yeah, it's not easy. Okay, so now how do we manage this? Sorry if I'm distracting you. No, don't worry. Yeah, as you can imagine, I don't have like a lot of viewers. Sometimes some people show up, but right now I don't have many viewers because I just started streaming a little while ago, and I'm most of the stream talking alone, so that's fine. So post-processing, how do we manage this? There's one thing I could do. Yeah, I think I'm just going to have a reference to this in the sequence handler. I'm just going to simplify this, okay? I'm just going to grab to make a new reference here to the, oh yeah, how is this? How? Oh yeah, I need to access the volume, and yeah, this is going to be a bit complicated, but volume, bloom volume. So, bloom volume. What I think I need to do is just get the bloom, which is this is an override. Okay. I don't remember how to access this. So I think it's just something like bloom rendering universal. Yeah, I think I can do that. Bloom is going to be bloom volume dot overrides. Where's this? Colliders. What the hell? Is this yeah, rendering volume? Okay, so this is correct. Destroy constellation, did awake, hide priority, shared profile, weight, is convertible, get components. I have no idea how to access that, so I will have to go see the documentation. So let me just go here really quick. Let's go here and say Unity scripting API. Okay. And then I have to go here and say Bloom. Let's see what pops up here. Nothing. Okay. So Unity engine dot rendering, I think it is. Yeah, rendering classes. So where is this? Rendering.universal.bloom. Okay. Rendering.universal? Is it here? I don't think so. Structs. Nope. Where the hell is Universa? That access okay. Click the new button. No, that's via script. Okay, here. Blah blah blah. Okay. Try get out vignette. What the hell? Volume profile. Oh, I see. So you have to get it from the profile. Okay. So basically I need to do profile dot components. What's this doing? Try get out vignette. So this is going to be bloom volume dot profile out bloom. So now bloom I can do, yeah, okay. Okay, perfect. I think that's correct. Bloom. Variable declaration can be inlined. Okay, how do we inline this? Okay, so now I can just use bloom wherever I want. Yeah. Clamp their intensity threshold. Okay, perfect. So now basically what I need to do here is go basically here in the step 3. So I'm adding a new one, step 4. Well, this is going to be step 4. Now we can say anim time equals current step duration, and here we can say you know what, this is dumb anim time. I think it's dumb to have, yeah, whatever, because I'm setting it every time. This doesn't make any sense, so I'm just going to do that just to make it simple. And here I can basically say neptwin.animation float, not float, current step duration theme. Okay, and now we can say set is, or maybe I don't set any is. I am just going to evaluate, because I think I'm going to use 2 different curves for each of the bloom values. So one of them is threshold, which is float, I think. Yeah, no, it's mean float parameter. What the hell? dot mean. What the hell? And this is a float. Okay. So min, which is I think the value, this is going to be I'm going to lerp this from 0.9 to let me see. I have to lerp this and make it much smaller. Okay. Yeah, until 0, I think. And intensity, yeah. So it goes from 0.9 to 0, and this is going to be isyncs dot in out in expo yeah, I think that's evaluate t. Okay, this is 1, and then bloom dot intensity dot min is going to be also a lerp from. I'm going to try this by just using some general asyncs, but then we can just play with some curves. So this is going to go from 0.5 to, I don't know, let's say maybe 2 or 3. So 0.5 to 3, okay? And I'm going to use the same. I think the same, or maybe this should go faster, the threshold, and then yeah, I think that's going to be much better. Fade scene with bloom. Okay, perfect. So let's see now how this looks. I basically need to add a reference to this. Okay, to this volume, and then I need to add another, which is fade scene. Okay, so how long is this animation going to be? Let's say 3 seconds for now. And also I need to have like bloom volume. Serial field. I'm going to have float bloom threshold. It's going to be 0.9, and then I'm going to have bloom intensity is going to be 0.5. Default, okay? And here I'm going to set it to, yeah, I shouldn't be doing this here because I should do this yeah, maybe this should be, yeah. I think I'm going to do this here. So and I can even go here and just remove this, and this is going to use rendering, and I will try to set this as a okay, let me see this, how I can do this. I need to have like a bloom, and this is going to be this. Okay, but how? Maybe it's just this. Yeah, I don't think that works. cannot implicitly convert type bool to yeah, I think I can do this like get. Is it like that? Like this? And maybe here I need to return blue. No, this doesn't work. Maybe this is, yeah. How is this? Where is it expecting? Oh, I'm so dumb, man. Okay. Yeah, I understand now. Okay. Perfect. So here, they should be public again. Okay. So here, instead of that, I'm going to say starfield system.bloom. Okay. That's going to be much easier. And now, this also needs to be public, I think. References. I pressed the. Okay, there we go. Hey Lou, how are you doing? Hey. Does it let me do this? Is it? It's not working. Why is it not letting me add the? Yeah, that's what I wanted to add. Okay, hey, how are you doing, Lou? Okay, so now I have this, and then I have my my values for the. Let's set it here. Let's say header bloom bloom properties. Okay, and here I'm going to serialize. Okay, and then I can also yeah, I think that's fine. I could also save. Yeah, I think that's going to be much more organized if I save this. If I save the properties of the, I think it's post-processing. There's going to be scan lines. Alpha is going to be 0.02. And I think this is going to be public. Okay. Well, not public. This is going to be used here. Okay, and then I also am going to say bloom.threshold.min equals bloom threshold default, and then intensity.min is going to be bloom intensity default. Okay, so every time we restart the scene is going to get reset, but also I need to reset that here, because when we start a new animation for traveling, stuff field, then here, yeah, I should make this public again. Public. Okay, sorry, I hit the microphone, sorry. Starfield system dot... Okay. Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, great. So, now, after all of this, I can just go here into the Starfield system script. I can just add this, okay, and I have those values set there, and that's great. And now here I don't need anything because I can access from the other scripts. And now I can hit play, and we should be able to see the screen fading. On a side, okay, yeah, I forgot to add this full screen material here. Full screen shader, full screen material, and this is going to be applied to the game engine. Okay, and now I think we're good to go. Let's see. Okay, let's see right now what happens if I go and say test travel. Let's see. Looking good so far. Okay. Now at constellation, we focus this and... Okay. Nothing happened. Okay, so intensities went to 3, but threshold didn't do anything. This should have been there. Oh yeah, so intensity should go to, yeah, to 40. And also, you know what? I'm seeing that the scan lines are not being set also. I don't know why. So I'm not sure what's happening here. Set scan lines alpha is 0.02. Set float. Is it a float? It should be a float. Okay, what's happening here? The full screen material, scan lines alpha. This is fine. So yeah, I don't know what could be happening. Print. Print get float. I'm going to print it twice there, so let's see what happens. Serialized, blah blah blah. Okay, it doesn't matter. Let's hit play and see what happens now. Zero, 0.02. So maybe the scan lines are there and I'm not seeing them. Nope, I don't think they are. So VFX Manager, okay, is this one. So why is it 0 again? Is there something that's resetting it before this? Oh yeah. Yeah, I think this should be called even before that. So reset VFX. This should happen before. Yeah, that's That was the issue. And also there's something here that's not working as intended, because this should go from 0.9 to 0 and it's not working. So what happened? What's happening here? Let's see what's wrong with this. Okay, let's see, play here. And now we should get the scan lines. Okay, yeah, we have the scan lines. I don't think you can see them. They are really subtle, but you should be able to see this. So this should go to 3 and this should go to 0. Okay, so let's see what happens now when I hit test travel. Okay, let's see what happens with the bloom. Okay, we show the constellation, we focus there, and now this goes to 3. That was really weird. What? Oh, because I think that it's not the min, it's the value. Okay. I'm so dumb, man. Here is also the value. And this is not the best way to do this, but whatever. Okay, and this is going to go to paid target threshold equals 0, and this is going to be 40. So target intensity. Okay, yeah, I think I was doing it wrong. So yeah, let's see now what happens. What am I doing here? Let's see now. Let's hit play here. Let's hit here. I have to undo those, but let's see here. See how it looks. Okay. 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 What happened? 40 and threshold is 0.9. Oh, I'm so dumb. Because I also need to set value to that. I forgot that. Okay. No problem, no problem, no problem. And I also will change, yeah, we'll remove this, and also not that, but this. I can close that and go here again. And we should be able to, what's this? Serialized object, blah, 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 package, Bloom editor. Have no idea what that is, but okay. Whatever you say. Okay, let's try again. A ver si te editaba unas tablas de Budokai. ¿Qué haces, Olmi? ¿Qué haces, amigo? Che, pará que te doy... Te doy mod, boludo, que no tenés mod. ¿Cómo era para hacer de mod? Boludo, estoy enfermo. Estuve como desde las 12 viendo lo del DBO. Amigo. Toma, ahí te di moderador, boludo. A ver, escribí ahora, boludo, porque yo en el chat que está abajo mío, viste, en el overlay le puse un color distinto a los mods. A ver, habla ahora, a ver si te detecta como moderador. Okay, let's see this, how it looks now. Ah, mira, tenía un color distinto ahora. A ver. Ok, ok. Bien. Oh, that's so cool. ¿Viste la estrella locaza, boludo? ¿Viste cómo se vio la transición loquísima, boludo? A ver si funciona si hago así. Sí, mira. Okay, this is working. So cool. That looks so cool. That's amazing. That's so cool. Okay, so now the idea is that we basically transition into the next scene where we actually go into the constellation. Vas a poner a Aurelion Sol ahí, el de Mr. Egg. ¿Te imaginas, boludo? Yeah. Okay, great. Here. Perfect. So now what we need to do here is en el lore el Aurelion es el creador de la estrella del universo. Imagínate, boludo. Está re piola el Aurelion, me gusta el personaje, boludo. Okay, great, great. Great, great, great. This is looking so cool. Okay, I think I can open up orc and push this. Okay. Okay. What? Oh yeah. It's because of this. Okay, I think I have to get something, so I'm going to be right back. Hey, I'm back. Why is nobody playing the game? Okay, let me play the game. B. I think it's going to, yeah, it's going to bounce in the second position. Okay. We're going to try to beat the game. Now it's going to bounce in the third position, I think. Yeah, let's change it. No, I lost. Okay. Let's play again. Let's see if we can beat the game. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to bounce in the middle. Yeah. No, la 3, la 3. Oh. No llegué. Okay. It's going to take forever. Okay, okay. Hey! Let's go! Okay. Can go back to working. So what? This is okay. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So now I can just close this, and this is the thing that's causing issues. So okay. And we can push. We're good to go. Okay, okay, okay. And yeah, so with that, I think we can basically end the stream. So yeah, we have basically the travel animation, like the whole sequence is now basically ready to go. So we can just input like where am I? So here we can say travel to constellation. We give it a constellation, like the coordinates and the class, a new constellation, and then it does the whole animation, and that's it. We can travel to the new constellation and we're good to go. So let's see how it looks again. And I don't know what this is, but yeah. So this is the animation. We set the coordinates of the new constellation, and then we travel there. Okay. This is the animation we see. We get to the new constellation. We can see it. Okay. Yay. We see the constellation. Now we see the star, and then we fade into the new scene. Okay. That's great. That's really, really cool. So that's gonna be it. Yeah, this gets saved too when we close. When we exit play mode. That's great. So this is going to be the stream for today. Yeah, a little bit short, is 2 hours. Well, this is the average length of my streams, so but also I think I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. I'm not sure yet, but maybe I will stream tomorrow, and if I don't stream tomorrow, I will be streaming on Monday. So yeah, I will see you soon. So thank you very, very much for watching. Thank you, Polero for the follow. We got a new follower today. And thank you everyone who participated in the stream, in the chat. And yeah, thank you very much for staying and for watching. Don't forget to join the Discord. Okay, there you can basically get notifications for when I go live. Hey, Ciala, thank you very much for the follow. Thank you. I'm just finishing the stream. Thank you very much. I appreciate. So yeah, be sure to join the Discord channel, the official Discord for my project, which is Voyager. It's my game. Be sure to join it. You can get notifications there. I always send a message there when I'm live. And you can also share your stuff there. You can share your art, you can share your games, your code, your anything you want, and you can get feedback. So yeah, that's great. That's really cool. We got 2 followers today. That's amazing. So cool. Thank you very much. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Thank you very, very much. And I will see you in the next stream.